welcome to this video. Today's workout is going to start with a minute of plank, then we're going to hit 10 rounds of 15 kettlebell or dumbbell deadlifts, 12 dumbbell or kettlebell power cleans, and 9 push-ups. Once we're done with the 10 rounds, as a finishing touch, we're going to go for a max plank hold. I'm just going to start with a quick warm-up, then we're going to go through all the movements, then we hit the workout together. Alright, so let's start with 10 good mornings. You want to have your stance somewhere in between the hip and the shoulder width stance. You're going to bend forward with a straight back and relaxed neck. You're going to really squeeze your bum on top of this movement. Bend the knees slightly. Alright, next one is going to be 10 Russian baby makers. You're doing all these to start warming up your hamstrings and your posterior chain. So for the Russian baby makers, you're going to squat all the way down. Then you're going to hook your fingers under your toes. Then you're going to stretch out the arms, extend them. Chest is nice and upright. Now you're going to shoot your hips all the way up in the back, straighten the legs, lock out the knees. Hold it there for a second. This is one repetition. We're going for 9 more. Always coming back down into our starting position. Alright, relax, stand up. Shake it off. Now we're going to sit down and shape. Well, try to get your legs in a 90-degree angle. So your knees are closing a 90-degree angle, your hips are closing a 90-degree angle. I have my right leg forward. Once you found your right angles, you're going to lean forward and rest your chest on your legs for a few seconds. Then you come back up. You repeat this 9 more times on this side. Then we're going to switch sides. This is very easy. You can keep pushing your heel forward and get a better stretch on the side of your leg and your glutes. Alright, after 10, switch sides. One side is always a little stiffer than the other one. I feel like for me this is going to be the left one today. 10 on each side. We're gonna do this one more time from the beginning, starting with 10 good mornings. Do 10 Russian baby makers. Ooh. And our seated 90-degree stretch. Good. Alright, before we move on, feel free to take a little break now. I'm also going to grab a glass of water. Alright, let's continue from where we left off. Now we're going to look at the plank for just a second, because we're starting our workout with a plank and we're finishing it. Now, if you feel like a regular elbow plank is too challenging, you're going to be holding a push-up plank today. Essentially, you have your feet together, your hands are shoulder width apart, your neck is relaxed, and your entire body is nice and tight. So you're neither arching, neither rounding your back. Everything is nice and tight, one straight line. You have to squeeze your bum, squeeze your core during the entire thing. Let's do 1 minute of push-up planks, and then we're gonna transition down into an elbow plank and hold that as well for a minute. And then you can decide which one you're going to be doing today. I have my little timer here, so I'm just gonna set up. And yeah, join me for this push-up plank. Let's go. Keep breathing, keep pressing through the shoulders. Squeeze your tummy, squeeze your bum. Hold the feet together and hold that plank. You're halfway, 30 seconds in. Fifteen seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Alright, we're gonna rest a minute and then hold an elbow plank as well. Just gonna look very similar to what we've just done, but now we're gonna support our upper body on our elbows and on our sides of our forearms. Alright, take your time to rest. We have 40 more seconds to rest. And then we're gonna do the elbow plank for another minute. Starting in 30 seconds. Start thinking of what playlist you're going to play at home for the workout. Or if you have a song you really like, you just put it on repeat. Alright, let's go in 10 seconds. Again, feet together, lower the hips, but do not arch. We're halfway. And relax. Alright. This is going to be, either one of these is going to be our plank variation for today. Next up is the last movement of our 10 rounds, which is the push-up. Now, normally I would recommend that if you do not have enough push-ups or good enough push-ups, then instead of doing knee push-ups, you elevate your upper body using either a chair, the side of the couch, or something like that. Unfortunately, because of my setting here today, I can't do that safely, neither on the chair, or it's not going to be in the camera if I do it on the couch, so I am going to stick to knee push-ups for this video. But let's just start with finding your scaling option today. I want you to go ahead and do 10 hand release push-ups. Hand release push-up, just a reminder, you're going to start in a push-up plank, then you lower yourself down, keeping the elbows close to the body. Then the chest touches the floor, thighs touch the floor. You let go for a second, and then with a straight body, you press back up. Alright, again, we're not doing any sort of party moves and waves. The body should stay as straight as possible, and the elbows should stay close to your body. Alright, so let's repeat that 9 more times. And rest. Alright, so you can stick to these, or the next variation. Actually, you know what, if I'm gonna do knee push-ups, you can do knee push-ups if you want to. You know what, no one's doing knee push-ups today. We are all doing, those of you who are not doing strict push-ups, we are doing hand release push-ups today. So forget about the knee push-ups. Those of you who have the chance to do upper body elevated push-ups, I don't know you want to try with this chair, to be honest, but you're just gonna rest your hands on any furniture that is sturdy enough to hold you, not slide out, And you're gonna perform a regular push-up there, touching your chest to the surface of that furniture, keeping your elbows close to your body, your entire body nice and tight. Imagine that my hands are elevated now, and you're gonna go just like this. So find yourself a piece of furniture now. Do 10 reps of these push-ups. And if you are a push-up ninja already, go ahead and just do 10 regular push-ups on the floor. Join me for this. I have 8 more to go. I'm just gonna break them up nice and easy as part of our warm-up. Alright, the last one really got to me. Alright, based on this round now, you should be able to decide which version you're going to be doing in this workout today. As I mentioned, you can elevate that push-up however you want by elevating your upper body as a scaling option, or you can join me for hand release push-ups. And if you're a pro, go ahead and do 9 regular push-ups every single round. The next movement is going to be a kettlebell or a dumbbell deadlift. Now, depending on what kind of weight you have at home, if it's very, very light, I do suggest that you alternate. Let's say you do 8 on one side, 7 on the other, because we have an odd number, right? We have 15 reps. And then you're just working on one side and then you're working on the other one. I'll show you this with the lighter dumbbell that I have here. You would be doing a suitcase deadlift, that's what we call it. And just accumulate 15 repetitions. If you're having something that is a little bit heavier and makes sense to deadlift it in the middle with both hands, then you're going to deadlift your dumbbell just like this. And if you have a kettlebell, you're just gonna essentially do a kettlebell deadlift. So first, for your deadlift, I just want you to find a hip. Well, first of all, bring your equipment. Then you're gonna find a hip width stance. Really press your heels into the ground. You can make sure that you're doing this by raising your toes for a second. That's how it should feel when you're actually standing on your heels. All right, and next, you're gonna get down to your weight, grab onto it, then raise your chest up and push the knees back. Once you feel tension in the back of your legs, that's when you know it's right. You should be pressing those knees back, staying on your heels, bringing the shoulders back. And then you're gonna do a hip extension, and with that you come up. You're not supposed to be pulling anything. Your arms are just extending basically your shoulder, connecting your shoulder to the weight, but you stand up that weight with a rapid and powerful hip extension, okay? Even if the weight is light, you should not be pulling it with your hands. So let's do 10 repetitions of this now together, starting now. Alright, that was 10. If you're happy with this option, you can go ahead and do 2 more sets of 10. And if you would like to try how it feels to do the suitcase deadlifts, then follow me for 2 sets of 10 on the sides. So I'm going to be doing 5 on each side. That's 10 repetitions for 1 round, but I'm going to do 2 sets of that. So the dumbbell or your kettlebell is outside your foot. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I switch. 8, 9, 10. Totally messed this up, right? I said 5 and 5. Well, anyway, then I'll just do 7 and 7. And in the next round, I do 5 and 5. So now, if you're doing the regular deadlifts, go for another set of 10. If you're joining me for the side to sides, this time 5 and 5. And 5. All right. That is it for our deadlift. Hopefully you picked the movement that you're going to prefer for this. It's going to be 15 repetitions per round in the workout. So you're either going to be deadlifting 15 times here in the middle, or alternating the sides, splitting it up however you want. Just make sure that you hit each side more or less the same time, since we have 15 reps. All right, next movement is, and our final movement for the workout, it's going to be power cleans. Now if you have kettlebells with you, please make sure to put on a wrist wrap, just something to save the upper side of your wrist, because for a kettlebell clean, you're going to have to flick that kettlebell and it's gonna hit right here. I do not have a kettlebell here with me today, so I'm going to be demonstrating this with a dumbbell today, but essentially it will look very, very similar with the kettlebell. So again, you're gonna find a hip width stance, heels pressed into the floor, and then you're gonna grab that dumbbell right in the middle of the handle. And then from here, your chest is upright. Again, press the knees back just slightly. Chest is upright. You're gonna go ahead and with a rapid hip extension, you're gonna shoot up and get that dumbbell up onto your shoulder. Just 1 second. And as you do the hip extension, you're gonna rapidly extend the hip, followed by the legs, followed by a shoulder shrug. And then the last thing is that you pull on that dumbbell, finally receive it on your shoulder in a partial squat. Once this is done, you extend the legs, you extend the hip, and this is your final position, all right? So starting position is here, receiving position is here, then you stand it up, bring it back down. That's 1 repetition. So let's look at this in practice. I'm gonna shoot the hips up, receive it, partial squat, weight is on my shoulder, and then you bring it back down. Always starting from the outside of your foot, just right next to it, as you can comfortably grab on it. Let's do 5 on each side. Again, starting down here. All right, these are going to be our dumbbell power cleans today. 12 in total, so 6 each side. I do recommend you not to alternate one by one, but to do 6 on one side and then switch to the other side, just for efficiency. One more thing I think I mentioned, but let's just make sure you're starting from the floor, all right? Each time you break, you have to start from the floor. And again, make sure to do this movement with a rapid hip extension. That's where the power is gonna come from. And if your weight is lighter, like mine, you're more likely to use more of your arms just because it feels light. But imagine it's a lot heavier. Give it a good, strong hip extension, hip power explosive hip, whatever you want to call it. All right, these are the 3 movements plus the plank, so 4 in total. And yeah, I would say let's do 1 test run with lowered repetitions, and then we're just gonna hit it. So instead of 15, 12, and 9, let's just do 8, 4, and 2. So starting with 8 deadlifts, and then 4 power cleans, and finally 2 push-ups. That was 8. I'm starting from the side, from the ground. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what am I doing? Guys, you see? Don't coach and do a workout at the same time, if you're me, which you're not. Anyways, so let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, 2 push-ups. For now, I'm just gonna do normal push-ups. Later on in the workout, I'll scale it to hand release. Okay, goody. This was your test run. Now feel free to take a water break, a toilet break, set up your playlist, open a window, whatever you need to get ready to hit this workout. Alright guys, let's do this. I found a little bit of a heavier dumbbell, luckily, so hopefully that will make this movement, Alright guys, let's hit this workout. Luckily I found a 10 kilo instead of the 7.5 that we have at home. I'm short of any heavier weights here today, but I'm trusting that you have something at home that you can use for this workout that's going to make it fun and effective for you. I did put on a little bit of music here for myself. I suggest you to do the same, especially if you can't hear mine. I also set myself up with 10 paper straws to make sure that I'm counting those rounds. And then I have a little timer here for myself with which I'm going to measure my plank times. Now, if you're following along completely, you can trust my timer. But at the end of the workout, you do anyway have to measure your max plank hold, which I can time for you, obviously. So I do recommend to have your timer next to you and just time at least your final plank for yourself. But for the first one, you can just follow along. I'm gonna be starting in 10 seconds. So starting with a minute of plank. Oh. Well, alright. That was sweaty. I feel like I just showered. I mean, not that fresh, but I'm definitely soaked. Alright, my time was 18:52, including my max plank hold, which was around a minute and 30 or something. Oh, my shoulders were burning. It was so, I was so shaky. Guys, let me know in a comment, how did you like this workout? How long you held that plank at the end? And yeah, we see you next time. Thanks for joining. Have a lovely day. Bye.